Hello again, everyone. Today I am here to swatch some Waterman fountain pen inks. And for the longest time, I didn't know how I felt about Waterman inks. I thought they were kind of uninteresting as far as the colors go. So I bought one, and I'll show you the swatch here. Even when I got it, I thought, oh, well, it's not all that interesting, right? So it's this mysterious blue. And the more I used it, the more I really saw the benefit of Waterman inks in that they flow really well in fountain pens, and the color really warmed on me. I really liked this color more and more the more I used it in different pens. So these particular colors were super, super inexpensive at Endless Pens, and I decided to go ahead and get the majority of the colors they had because these were less than $5 a bottle. So I had been wanting to get a couple of these. I specifically had my eye on Harmonious Green and Tender Purple. And then when I looked through the colors, I thought these might be nice as well. This is Absolute Brown, this is Inspired Blue, and this is Audacious Red. So I think that these will be good to have around for pens that may be a little finicky and need a well-flowing ink, or you know, just that I want to write in that I know will work well. So hopefully these colors will be nice as well. But like I said, this one didn't really wow me at first, but the more I used it, the more I warmed up to it. So I actually have artificial light today just because it is so dark outside. It's so dark and rainy today. It's an unusual day in Denver where it is so dark and rainy. But I wanted to do the swatches today, but I didn't think it would work well with natural light just because it is so dark. So just letting you know that I have artificial light going on today. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open these boxes. And the ink bottles are actually quite nice. They're these little faceted bottles, which look quite nice. And the packaging is nice on these. So I'm just going to get all these bottles out, and then I will swatch them one by one. And I will show you which swatch tools I have off to the side here shortly. This is the swatch book where I swatch all of my fountain pen inks. I am also doing coloring swatches. I'm not going to be doing those today just because it will take a bit of time to do that. I might just do that separately and then do a separate video showing them. So I have the inks, I have my swatch book, which I will put a link below to the video where I go through this setup. This is my automatic pen, which is also a link to this. Where to get this pen is in the setup that I'm going to link to down below. This is a 3A automatic pen, and then this is my glass dip pen. So let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to put these in some sort of order. I'm going to go blue, green, red. Actually, let's go green, blue, red, purple, brown. Okay, so let's go with this Harmonious Green first. And I'm also going to zoom in. There we go. And so far, this looks pretty nice. It looks like a very nice standard green. Looks like I had a little bit of gunk in my automatic pen there. I've been using this a lot, so it's probably some paper pulp. Let me get the rest of that to get some shading there. I have a glass of water off to the side so that I can rinse my tools out in between colors. And then I'm going to go in with the glass dip pen. And this is Waterman. Harmonious Green. Yeah, that's actually quite beautiful. And it seems like the majority of the inks have a little bit of shading. It's not super pronounced, but it is enough to give you some variation in your writing. All right, so now I'm going to go to Inspired Blue, and this ink looks a little turquoise in the samples I've seen, so I love a good turquoise. Let's see how it goes. Oh yeah, lovely. And I have been trying to limit my fountain pen ink purchases. You know, whenever I say that, I'm always proven wrong later on about something. But this was also to fill out an order on Endless Pens to get free shipping, because I also got another Opus 88 Omar the same time, because those are fast becoming one of my favorite pens. Okay, so this is Inspired Blue. Yeah, that's a beautiful turquoise. And I think this actually is a little wetter than some of the other turquoises that I have. And I'll show you these colors closer up once I am done swatching them. Okay, and then let's go on to Audacious Red. Actually, maybe I should go purple. Well, no, let's stick with red. Okay, so this is the Audacious Red. Let's see how audacious it is. Seems like a very 80s word. Audacious. Oh, it's very pretty. It looks sort of like a tomato red to me. And the tomato reds tend to be just a little on the orange side, which I like. I like all reds. Reds and blues seem to be my favorite colors, so I'm generally pretty happy with most reds. That is a really pretty bright, vibrant red. Is it audacious? I don't know. I'll let you decide. Yes, and these inks have all operated fairly wet in pens, which is nice. That is my preference. And they're not so wet that they're like gonna gush all over the page. And this is Audacious Red. Yeah, that's a really nice one. So far, I'm pretty impressed with these. They're very nice. I mean, they're not one of the sexy new brands of ink, but sometimes an old staple works really well. So this is Tender Purple. Yes, and this is a beautiful purple color. And it does seem to have a lot of shading, at least in this little square sample here. The Audacious Red doesn't seem to have much shading at all. And I'll go through this at the end when you can see them again. Yeah, that's actually a very beautiful purple. This is Waterman. And I think some of these have been renamed. So this is Tender Purple, but I think that this is probably older, oops, purple. This is probably older stock, so it may be named something different, but I think that Waterman only has one purple. So I think if you get their purple, whatever it's called, it should be the same one. I'm pretty sure. If anybody knows that that is actually not the case, just comment down below and let me know. So this next one is Absolute Brown. Oh, that must have been, cap was a little tighter than others. Okay, so I'm going to go up to the next page here and do this sample. And these have rinsed off the tools very easily, which is nice. That's one of the other things, is that it's kind of known for being fairly safe for vintage pens. So given that I do have a few vintage pens in my collection, this will also be a good ink for those. Okay, that definitely looks like brown. Again, is it absolute? I don't know. Not even quite sure what that would mean in this context. Okay. And again, this is Waterman. Absolute brown. Yeah, I think that would be a really good standard brown. I would say it leans a little warm, which I tend to like for browns, so that is pretty nice. All right, so I'm going to close those all up and then show you those. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to find where I am here. So there's that Harmonious Green, which is pretty much all dry now. And it does have just a little bit of shading in the writing, which is nice. But it's, again, it's all these colors are kind of standard colors, which can be really great sometimes. And there's the Inspired Blue, really beautiful turquoise. Waterman Audacious Red. This one actually reminds me a little bit of Fire Embers by Diamine. And this one's Waterman Tender Purple. And then here we are with Absolute Brown. And the Absolute Brown, it's dry up at the top here, but the bottom is still a little bit wet. So this is going to be a truer indication of what it's going to look like. These seem to be drying fairly matte. That's consistent with what the other one dried like. I'm going to see, because that one seems so close. So there's Diamine Fire Embers. So this one probably leans a little bit more true red, and this one's a little bit more orange, but they're very similar, I would say. Oh, and then we have Monteverde Purple Rain, which I would say is probably a lighter version of this Tender Purple. I think I might end up putting this Tender Purple in my TWSBI Vac pen. I had, let me zoom out a little bit. So I had Troublemaker Abalone in my iris. Here, actually, let me get it out. I just washed it. It's in pieces now because I just cleaned it out. But I think that this Tender Purple might be a really good color to go with the purple that is on the iris. But yeah, I had Troublemaker Abalone in there, and because I have a medium nib on here, it just really wasn't showing the shading. And it really needed to be in a broader nibbed pen or an italic nibbed pen. So I just decided to take that out of there, wash it out, and then I think I am going to load it up with Waterman Tender Purple. So maybe I'll do a follow-up with that. But I did want to show you sort of the color next to the iris here, which I thought, yeah, that might work. Well, that's all I had for you today. Feel free to subscribe to keep track of future videos on my channel. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. I hope to see you next time, but in the meantime, have a great day. Thanks so much. Bye.